Hey, this is Russ. Time for a knee update. You ever notice that I always laugh right after I say that? I don't know why I do that. There's nothing funny about your knee. Got to have a sense of humor, I'm going to tell you right now. If you can't laugh at it, yeah, you better work on that. You don't want to be a grump the entire time. All right, anyways, it's about 11 and a half months since my knee replacement was done. Now, you all know that I had my Jazz knee units sent back to me. I'm actually using two of them now, one specifically for my extension and one specifically for my flexion. And just as a reminder to everybody, if you do get a Jazz knee unit, they don't give you two, okay? You usually get one, but these units have been kind of customized for that specific purpose for me, all right? Now you may wonder, why am I so special? Well, it's in cooperation with them. They wanted to help me get a better extension after hearing that I wasn't doing so well in walking and things. So they sent me that extension unit back at no cost, which thank you very much for that from Jazz. And then I started complaining that I felt that my my flexion was not getting anywhere it used to be. And I was measuring about 104 degrees. And so then they said, okay, let's help you with the flexion too. But they had already sent that other one out, and it was customized for extension. It's actually modified slightly to get a better extension for me. So that's why I have a secondary unit. Now, let me tell you real quickly how I'm doing with these things, okay? Because I know that a number of people have asked me, is it helping you? Are you improving any? Initially, I would say no. I didn't feel anything was changing at all for my extension. But it takes time. You have to realize that, I went to PT, physical therapy, for 6 months, and then I was out of it for, I don't know, maybe by the time they contacted me, about 4 months out after that. Now it's 5.5 months now out from PT. So anyways, when you first put it on, yeah, you're not going to feel anything. I mean, any scar tissues that are there are still kind of stuck at that level. But I will tell you this, okay? I am having a hard time measuring the extension on my own, just doing it by myself, okay? And that's because, when you're extending your leg, you try to use a manual goniometer to do this. Let me pull that out here. Hold on. Okay, reaching off camera here. You guys know what these are, the goniometers, right? So to try to do this on your own for an extension, it's kind of hard to be able to line things up. So I don't know for a fact, but I know that when my wife was checking it for me after I left PT, we were still measuring 10 degrees. Now, let me say something else too. You might ask, well, why don't you ask your wife to help measure it again? Well, she's kind of tired of dealing with me. You guys are probably tired of hearing from me too, I'm telling you. But I will say knee replacement surgery and recovery is not just the patient that has to deal with this. It's everybody in your family who hear you complain and talk about your knee all the time. It wears on them. I don't blame my wife for being kind of tired of hearing it from me. I always feel guilty that I even have to tell you guys all this stuff. But some of you guys are relatively new to your knee replacements and want to hear it. So that's why I'm telling you guys this stuff. Anyways, so I'm not asking her to measure me with this anymore. I'm trying to do it on my own, and that's near impossible to do for an extension, okay? But I will tell you this, having had the Jazz unit for about a month or so now back in my life, I can't measure it properly, but I will tell you, I feel like I'm walking better. And really, isn't that really what counts? I mean, whether it's 10 degrees or 9 degrees or 8 degrees or whatever I'm currently at, if I feel like I'm actually able to walk a little bit better, isn't that really what counts? So I will tell you that it has helped in that sense. Okay, so let's talk about flexion, okay? Has it helped in the flexion? Now, I've only had the flexion unit a couple weeks. I haven't had it, for the same amount of time as the extension unit. But I was measuring 104 degrees before asking for help from them. And I will tell you, when I put that unit on in the beginning and measured it, 104 degrees, all right? So with it on or without it on, just from the start of it, 104 degrees. It was pretty consistently known that it was 104. Now, I will say that Jazz has a special app that they use to to keep track of the thing. Because one of the things I'm doing on their units is we're testing out a tracking device that they use on these devices. And this is basically for people who use this for workman's comp claims. You know, they want to make sure that the people are using it. So this is a tracker for them. Anyways, we're checking it out with that. And there's a device on there that has an electronic goniometer. Now, I wish they make this available for everybody, because really it's so much easier to use than this thing. Anyways, with that on, and even with the brace on, okay, I measured 104 degrees. But in the last week or so, after having used the unit for a while, I'm at 115 degrees. So yeah, it works. I'm telling you, their device actually works. And this is not just one time you measured 115. No, I am consistently measuring 115 degrees right now with the device on. Now, I had hit 130 when physical therapists were pushing on me hard and screaming, okay? But I was hitting 115 on my own after they had pushed me for a while and I was screaming for a while. Then they say, okay, now try it on your own. I would hit 115. So really, with the device on, I'm hitting 114, 115 degrees, okay? And today I measured, it was 115. So I would say I'm back to where I was without the screaming. And I want to talk about that too, about pain, okay? Jazz asks you to push your knee to a level of 2 or 3. Now, if you're a patient, you know that 10 is to the level where you're screaming, you can't handle it anymore, and you're just screaming in maximum pain. Okay, that's a 10. That's what I was getting when the PT guys was pushing me. Okay, probably more than 10. I'm screaming louder than anyone else. Jazz asks you to do a 2 to 3 when you're using the device. Okay, so am I getting a 2 or 3 pain? No, I'm not. I'm getting no pain. Now you may say, oh, you're pain-free? No. I mean, if I'm walking around and stuff and I'm trying to extend my leg, yeah, I can feel it, okay? And I had a discussion of this with one of my my viewers too, okay? And I described this as not really pain anymore. What this is now is it's a nuisance. Now, if you know what I'm talking about, you may know that, okay, yeah, I feel pressure, I feel it's stiff, I feel that I can't bend it any further, but are you screaming in pain? No, I'm no longer in pain, all right? It's a nuisance. I can't do it, so I'm pushing harder and go, yeah, it's tight, it's stiff, okay. I'd call that a nuisance now. I don't call it a pain. So am I at a 2 or 3 level for pain levels when I'm using the Jazz unit? No, I'm at nuisance level. Okay, and nuisance level is giving me 115 degrees. All right, so here's some hope for you guys that are still in pain with your knees. Okay, that pain eventually goes away. I mean, your knee may not be perfect, but the pain, I would say, is pretty much gone at this point. It's a nuisance level now. Does that make any sense to you guys? I hope it does. Anyways, I wanted to at least report that back to you. And one thing more. Okay, one thing more that I noticed. If you've been watching my music videos, and I encourage you to do so, because I do try to throw that in, because that gives me something to do, quite frankly. I hope you're watching that stuff. But do me the favor and watch the latest one, which is Ventura Highway. Okay. Now, I don't want you to watch this because you're watching the music video. I want you to watch it and look at me standing. Okay, I'm standing with the guitars. And one of my friends says, oh, it looks like you're standing and you're doing okay. No, if you look closely, 70% of my weight is on my right leg, and about 30% of that weight is on the left leg. And the reason is because I can't stand perfect. I'm not at 0 degrees anymore on the left leg, right? I'm at about 10 degrees or maybe a little bit less now with the help of the Jazz unit. But you can notice that on every single, there's multiple videos within the video. If you watch every guy, meaning me, okay, if you watch every video of me as I'm standing, okay, you can pretty much see 70% of the weight is always on that right leg and 30% of the weight is on the left. All right. If my knee was perfectly fine, I would be able to stand 50-50 if I wanted to, or shift my weight from one to the other. I can't shift it to the left leg. So I'm constantly standing with the right. And people ask me, oh, is it hard to make these music videos? You have to play it. You know what the hardest part of making these music videos are? Standing while being recorded, okay? That's the hardest part. It's not the playing or anything like that, or the multi-track recording of it that's hard. Okay, that's fun stuff, but it's the standing and recording yourself when you're playing those instruments. Okay, here's a side note too. I've also noticed that the angle that I hold my guitars when I stand is almost exactly the same all the time. Take a look at the neck. Okay, the neck of the guitar. When you see that, it's always at that same angle. Okay, take a look at that. It's just a little tidbit. Anyways, if you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button, hit them all, and I will talk to you guys next time.